feel like most times whenever somebody brings up Nelson Mandela, they usually just jump straight to, oh, the Mandela effect. And I've been kind of like throwing this one around in my head for a while about the Mandela effect, because it's kind of strange that so many people think about things collectively incorrect. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about what I think the Mandela effect really is. Okay, so this is another conspiracy theory episode. I haven't really seen something about this on the internet. So again, maybe this is groundbreaking. Sorry, let me pull my mic out. Groundbreaking for the time, but you know, there's a chance. Or it's just like, why am I wasting my time with this thought? But here's my roaming thought. The Mandela effect is actually a manipulation technique that has been through many testing phases. Okay, so first thing what we're going to do, we're going to talk about what the Mandela effect is for those that aren't aware. I'm going to give some just like random examples. We'll like pull some up online or something. We'll look at some examples of the Mandela effect. And then I'll kind of get into like where my whole conspiracy theory with this is. And basically it all just like rotates around the internet and information. So first things first, let's not go any further than this reminder, day 115 of Putin's completely unnecessary war in Ukraine. So it's still not over. Just recently, I don't know if it was, yeah, I think it was just past week. Leaders from France, Germany, Italy, and I believe Romania went to Kyiv to visit President Zelensky and offered their support, while you still have, you know, Olaf and Macron saying that they need to negotiate with Putin. But I've also been reading how there are like these breakaway regions in Ukraine, like children and newborns in these separatist regions. They're being forced to have a Russian passport. So it's like they're just genuinely like, I don't know if systematic's the right way, but like right term, but they're just, honestly, it's such a sham that they're doing everything necessary to like trap them into being Russian. So I don't know, it's a bunch of garbage. It totally could have, this war could not have even like, it could have been like a 2-day thing, but whatever. You guys know my opinions on that. Super annoyed that the world's leaders don't actually care enough to do something about it. So all right, anyway, day 115, like I said, I know that I am getting into more like non-Ukraine topics, but you know, I'm calling myself on it. I'm calling myself out on it. I know what I'm doing. Anyway, Mandela effect. Okay, so let me get, for those that are watching, thank you. Let's pull this up here. I think what I'm going to do is we'll go with like 2/3 of a screen there, and maybe I'll just pull myself up right here. No, I don't like that. We'll do this. We'll go that there. Okay. And how about I'll hang out right there. So then when I'm looking, I can be like, oh my gosh, what is the Mandela effect? Okay. Anyway, so what is the Mandela effect? Cool. His own words would basically just be like, it's something that a lot of people, or maybe not even a lot of people, but it's basically a wrong memory where we all thought something happened a certain way or something existed a certain way, but that wasn't the reality, I guess, and we're all like shook because of it. But let's just go here. So I found it interesting. First thing, I found it interesting that you type in Mandela effect, and like Wikipedia is usually one of the top results for just about anything that you enter. But if you see, I typed in Mandela effect, and the third result on Google is Wikipedia, but it says false memory. So then if you type in Mandela Effect Wikipedia, then you get Mandela Effect Wikipedia. Okay, so I click on that. And this, to me, this just was weird because it seems like there's something written on just about any topic. But anyway, you go to Wikipedia, you get Mandela Effect, and then in parentheses, it's like disambiguation. And then it says the Mandela effect, sometimes referred to as the Mandela phenomenon, is an instance of false memory. That's it. There's no like studies done on this. There's no, and again, this is Wikipedia, but I'm just saying like there's a grain of truth within Wikipedia. And I just find it really weird that this is all that is on here. So you click Mandela effect, and then it will bring you to false memory under Wikipedia. And it's like its own little heading category. Okay. So it's basically saying like false memories that can be sometimes shared between multiple people. And it was essentially started like this whole Mandela effect was, well, I'm just going to read. Okay. So if you're listening, great. If you're watching, you can follow along with me. But from Wikipedia, false memories, this is under Mandela effect. False memories can sometimes be shared by multiple people. This phenomenon was dubbed the Mandela effect by paranormal researcher Fiona Broom, who reported having vivid and detailed memories of news coverage of South African anti-apartheid leader Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. He actually died in 2013 after serving as president of South Africa from 94 to 99. Broom reported that since 2010, perhaps thousands of other people had written online about having the same memory of Mandela's death, and she speculated that phenomenon could be evidence of parallel realities. Okay, so that's essentially what the Mandela effect is, where it gets its name from. Now, there's, again, you can look in here, and I'll maybe click on a couple things just so it gives you something to look at. But it's a quote false memory. Okay, and for my time on Earth, like I've never thought that Nelson Mandela died back in the 80s because A, I wasn't alive. B, like I knew that he was president of South Africa and that he like, as a kid, I was like, whoa, this is wild. Some dude went to jail and now he's president. And later on in life, I learned like what it actually was all about. So that never really, I never had that, Mandela effect part, but it's like the start to it, right? And then there's been examples of like, I guess some clock in, was this Germany? And then you've got your examples, right? You've got the Berenstain Bears and all of this. And I'll go back and we can look at 50 Mandela effect examples from goodhousekeeping.com. Okay. And you've got Curious George. Did he have a tail? Didn't he have a tail? You've got, was it Jif or Jiffy, right? I'm of the mindset that like, I could have swore it was Jiffy at some point, but then there was another peanut butter too, I think. Skippy. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with Skippy. Okay, I don't know. Looney Tunes, whatever. Berenstain Bears. The Curious George tale. Sex in the City. Sex and the City. Febreze. Whether it had one E between R and Z or two. Oscar Mayer. Skechers. I mean, you guys know the Mandela effect examples, right? Froot Loops. This one was stupid. Okay, if you're listening, it's apparently some people thought King Henry the VIII had some portrait of him holding a chicken leg. I'm blown away that's on this list. Whatever. The Monopoly guy, whether he had a monocle, Pikachu's tail, Kit Kat, whether there was a dash or hyphen between it, Fruit of the Loom, Cheez-Its, double stuffed Oreos with one F or two Fs. Personally, I thought it was double stuffed Oreos, but again, whatever. Mona Lisa, C-3PO's leg, the Flintstones or the Flintstones. Again, Ed McMahon, Publishers Clearinghouse, Some of these actually did throw me. This "Play It Again, Sam." I've heard the saying, but I don't know exactly what it is. "Luke, I am your father." This one was kind of wild. So again, this is on goodhousekeeping.com. "Luke, I am your father. The exchange is iconic as the Star Wars movie themselves. However, it's another line that was never said. No, I am your father is the line, supposedly. I went on YouTube and I tried to look like I tried to figure this one out myself. I'm not a Star Wars dude, but everybody knows "Luke, I am your father." But did he really say, "No, I am your father"? I don't know. So I went on YouTube and I tried to find clips. And of course, I'm sitting there watching the clips and I'm like, I can't verify any of this because how can I verify this video? How do you verify this? You need the actual film. I don't know, when they made the movie, you need the actual reel to play it back, I guess. I don't know. That one really kind of messed with me. We're gonna need a bigger boat. I don't know. "Life is like a box of chocolates." If you listen closely, he says life was like a box of chocolates. I don't know on that one. "Mirror, mirror on the wall." Apparently that was never said. It was "magic mirror on the wall." Something with Black Eyed Peas. Again, Luke, I am your father. This, okay, here's something, and I actually went through this previously on Good Housekeeping's, their little post article on this. I found it hilarious that on Good Housekeeping's 50 Mandela Effect examples that will make you question everything, I found it hilarious that they had their own Mandela Effect within their article because they had "Luke, I am your father" on here twice. Okay, 24th and 30. Anyway, sidetrack. I don't know, "Risky Business," Tom Cruise, whether he had sunglasses or not, some Gandalf thing. "Hello, Clarice," from Hannibal Lecter. "We are the champions, of the world." Mr. Rogers' theme song. "Lucy, you have some splaining to do." This was another one that I checked out, that I looked at myself. Ricky Ricardo, his famous catchphrase in "I Love Lucy," "Lucy, you have some splaining to do." I swear, I remember watching this show as a kid. And then again, this was another thing that I went to YouTube and I checked to see if I could find old episodes. I wasn't even looking for that specifically. Well, I was, but I wasn't when I figured out I couldn't find a clip clearly saying or not saying that, was it "Lucy, you have some splaining to do," or "Splain that if you can," or "Lucy splain." I couldn't find clips of those. And so then I was looking for episodes and I just couldn't verify either. Okay. Number of states. This one was really frustrating for me. Maybe it just as a former geography teacher. Okay. "Some Americans and foreigners alike recall learning that there were 51 or 52 states." This is where this whole Mandela Effect thing is just so stupid, because count the stars on the flag. I genuinely don't know why anybody in their mind would have thought, if you thought that, yes, you thought wrong. And so I guess the Mandela Effect is an incorrect memory, but come on, you guys, 50 states, not DC. Maybe that's why you thought 51. I have no idea. Whatever, moving on. This was a big one. Sinbad playing a genie, Shazam, Kazam, that whole thing. What else do we have? Smokey Bear, his name wasn't Smokey the Bear. This one was weird. Tank Man, number 41 out of 50 on Good Housekeeping. Tank Man, okay? And perhaps the most memorable moment during the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests, recollections of the event vary. Some say the unidentified man known as Tank Man was run over and killed, but other videos show him unharmed. That one I actually don't know, don't remember, wasn't around for, so whatever. Neil Armstrong's death, oddly enough, people had no recollection of the aeronautic legend's death. Many fans apparently forgot or didn't notice the news of his passing in 2012. I feel like I knew that. Okay. Billy Graham's death, like Mandela, many can't place when Billy Graham's funeral aired on TV. He died in February 2018. Okay, I don't know about that one. Mother Teresa's canonization. People have strong opinions about when Mother Teresa was canonized as a saint. The real event happened in 2016, but many remember her entering sainthood in the 1990s when she was still alive. I'm not Catholic, so I don't know anything about this, but total shot in the dark here. I didn't know you could become a saint if you were still alive. So like maybe that just undoes that one, whatever. People thought the Challenger space shuttle exploded in 1984, 85 when it really happened in 86. That one I actually knew from history, whatever. And Leonardo DiCaprio's first Oscar, people thought that he had gotten, you know, the award before 2016. I don't. Like, he's been notoriously like skipped over for not winning it. So yeah, when he won it in 2016, it was what it was. Anyway, okay, so those are the ton of examples I have. But here's where my conspiracy kind of like comes in on this, is when we're thinking about all of the examples of the Mandela effect, on the grand scheme of things, all of these things that we have false memories about is really insignificant stuff. Okay, at the end of the day, like whether somebody died or not, when it's pretty apparent, like Mandela didn't die, you know, whatever, 30 years earlier than what reality was. Who cares if a logo was spelled a certain way or had a certain image on it or not? Like, I hope we can all agree that those examples, there's nothing in it that whether or not it was this way or this way, that does not change humanity. That doesn't change our society. That does not have any lasting impact on day-to-day life. Okay. And that's kind of where the basis of my conspiracy theory starts. Okay. So the fact that the Mandela effect has not actually mattered for anything significant, such as the results of an election, the results of a war, the passing of a law, okay? It hasn't had any major impact, all right? Now, we have to look at where did this information originate and how can we confirm it, okay? And I'm sure like if you want to, you could go like unorthodox methods, but if you want to look something up, where are you going to go? Okay, I'm assuming in that moment right there, you said the internet, or you said my phone, or you said Google, okay? Chances are you're going to go to the internet, okay? That is where my premise is for this conspiracy theory, saying that the Mandela effect is a bigger like test, right? I think what the Mandela effect is a way to manipulate information to the extent where can I alter what a large group of people believe is true, okay? And I'm just looking at my notes here. Each example of the Mandela effect has been a test, yes, to see the type and significance to what level of manipulation is possible. Okay, so that's the premise for the Mandela effect. Is just like this experiment to see exactly in what ways can information be manipulated to alter a person's memory, their just something that they thought was true, right? And at what level can it be changed? Can it be altered? Can it be shook, right? And I think like if you have everybody's going to go to the internet to look up information, right? And if something they don't think is real or they don't know is true, they're going to go to the internet and they're going to try to find something to verify it, right? And now we already know that algorithms for Google, any search engine, anything operating on the internet, run by algorithms, it's going to show you essentially what you want to see, okay? You have to be very cognizant of trying to find the counter argument to what you're looking for. But what I'm trying to get at is, if, let's say, I mean, I don't have like the Fruit of the Looms one. I'm like, oh, you could just go get an old pair of underwear or an old white t-shirt and, you know, look at the tag and then boom, you would know. But what if it's been tested that they're just choosing these random, like insignificant things because A, it's going to be really annoying and fairly difficult to definitively approve or disapprove, confirm or disprove, whatever they're going for. And this is all just to see like, okay, how much information can we manipulate or kind of hide or make very difficult to find to the point where people will just collectively agree on the same thing, right? Now, I'm not saying like Mandela died in the 1980s. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, what if all of this Mandela Effect stuff was just a way for, I don't know who, the powers that be, to see like, okay, can we change something, at least the information that's provided on the internet, so that it almost gives the illusion that reality was something other than what it was? Because, I mean, who's going to have Kit Kat wrappers or Fruit of the Loom tags from however many years ago to like physically check, right? It's going to be something that's pretty rare. And honestly, who's going to care enough to go out and like find that stuff and look it up? And if they do and they upload it to the internet, who's to say that it can't be just buried underneath a mountain of irrelevant information that nobody's going to sift through in order to actually find it? And if they do find it and they are able to verify that, I don't know, they are able to verify that it was Smokey the Bear, not Smokey Bear, like, who is going to believe it, right? Because if you have 99.9% of the information out on the internet saying it was Smokey Bear, but you do find, let's just say somehow somebody found physical evidence that it was Smokey the Bear, uploaded that information to the internet, but it's under this mountain of information that says otherwise. It's very easy then to discredit it when and if you find it, right? So let's say like, oh yeah, I did find this article and it was saying that, yeah, some guy in his basement in Western Montana had an old Smokey the Bear poster, and yeah, here it is. Like, he's got a picture of it and everything. How easy is it then to be like, well, yeah, but there's 900 other articles and other guys in their basements with the poster that just says Smokey Bear. So I don't know if I'm actually like articulating this eloquently enough, but basically what I'm getting at is like, the internet is super dangerous because I think it has the potential that this could actually be a reality. When I was teaching history, even when I was in college studying history, it was this weird reality that I was kind of presented, that history is not unbiased and it's not always factual, right? History is written most of the time by the winners. And also they're going to be pushing whatever agenda or belief they want to live on, right? And so when we live in the day and age of the internet where information can change at the snap of a finger rather than the revision of a book, it makes for a very dangerous place where propaganda and like manipulation just runs rampant. And I think like part of the reason why I wanted to do a video on this was because like, again, I'm just trying to throw out, like, this is a really roaming thought, but like, is anyone else thinking, like, is anyone like, yo, this doesn't make a lot of sense, but I can see where he's coming from. Because think about it. If I mean, I don't know. I just think like nothing was major with the Mandela effect. It wasn't like saying like Abraham Lincoln was the first president. Okay. And then like, oh, geez, well, that would shift everything then, right? So then when did the Civil War happen? Well, then when was George Washington president? Then how did the revolution start after the Civil War? Like, you know what I mean? Like nothing that really has a Mandela effect honestly carries much of a domino effect that would mess with any other aspect of reality. But there are these little tiny things where maybe we can skew the information enough where it's most accessed, where we could alter the narrative of what really was reality, right? I don't know. I feel like that really did a good job kind of summarizing what I was getting at with this whole Mandela effect being a manipulation experiment. But I don't know. If you guys have a thought on this, or if you even made it this far into the episode, like, I don't know, comment it or like share it with somebody or just message me and be like, hey, you don't make any sense. But I don't know. That was a fun one. Basically, my conclusion on this is the conspiracy theory is the Mandela effect is a information manipulation experiment by who knows, with the lesson to be learned being you genuinely can't trust what you find online. And if you think you can, don't discredit what is going against your belief, your opinion, your narrative. I think in today's day and age, it's harder and harder to find reality. And you're not going to find it on a computer screen versus in real life talking to, you know, people. People can lie to your face too. But what I'm saying is it's a lot harder to manipulate and hide and push agendas and things like that in real life, day-to-day interacting with people than it is just keeping everything on the internet. I don't know. That was a poor closing there, but Mandela effect. I'm skeptical. Okay. Who knows? I don't know. Mandela effect. It messes with me. There are some Mandela effect things that I'm like, okay, I thought this was the other way around. But again, I'm going to question it. I'm going to say, hey, is my truth the reality and the information that I'm being presented not? But I don't know. Yeah, thanks for listening. If you made it this far, and I guess, you know, question everything and be a good person. Okay, bye.